Where's your garden? Mary went red, then white. She had never thought of this. What was she going to say? Could you keep a secret? It's a great secret. If anyone discovers it, I'll die. I keep secrets for all the wild birds and animals on the moor. So I can keep yours too, he replied. I've stolen a garden, she said very fast. Nobody goes into it. Nobody wants it. I love it, and nobody takes care of it. They're letting it die. And she threw her arms over her face and started crying. Don't cry, said Dickon gently. Where is it? Come with me, and I'll show you, said Miss Mary. They went to the secret garden and entered it together. Dickon walked round, looking at everything. Martha told me about this place, but I never thought I'd see it, he said. It's wonderful. What about the roses? Asked Mary worriedly. Are they still alive? What do you think? Look at these shoots on the branches. Most of them are alive, all right. He took out his knife and cut away some of the dead wood from the rose trees. Mary showed him the work she had done in the garden, and they talked as they cut and cleared. Dickon, said Mary suddenly, I like you. I never thought I'd like as many as 5 people. Only 5, laughed Dickon. He did look funny when he laughed, thought Mary. Yes, your mother, Martha, the robin, Ben, and you. Then she asked him a question in Yorkshire dialect, because that was his language. Dost thou like me? Was her question. Of course. I liked thee wonderful, replied Dickon, a big smile on his round face. Mary had never been so happy. When she went back to the house for her lunch, she told Martha about Dickon's visit. I've got news for you too, said Martha. Mr. Craven's come home and wants to see you. He's going away again tomorrow for several months. Oh, said Mary, that was good news. She would have all summer in the secret garden before he came back. But she must be careful. He mustn't guess her secret now. Just then, Mrs. Medlock arrived, in her best black dress, to take Mary down to Mr. Craven's room. Mary's uncle had black hair with some white in it, and high, crooked shoulders. His face was not ugly, but very sad. During their conversation, he watched her in a worried way. Perhaps he was thinking of other things at the same time. He looked at the thin child. "Are you well?" he asked. Mary tried to keep her voice calm as she replied, I'm getting stronger and healthier.
What do you want to do in this big, empty house?
I just want to play outside. I enjoy that.
Yes. Martha's mother, Susan Sowerby, spoke to me the other day. She's a sensible woman, and she said you needed fresh air. But where do you play?
Everywhere. I just skip and run and look for green shoots. I don't damage anything.
Don't look so frightened. Of course, a child like you couldn't damage anything. Play where you like. Is there anything that you want?
Mary came a step nearer to him, and her voice shook a little as she spoke. Could I have a bit of garden?
Mr. Craven looked very surprised.
To plant seeds in. To make them come alive, Mary went on bravely. It was too hot in India, so I was always ill and tired there. But here it's different. I love the garden.
He passed a hand quickly over his eyes. Then he looked kindly at Mary. I knew someone once who loved growing things like you. Yes, child. Take as much of the garden as you want. He smiled gently at her. Now leave me. I'm very tired. Mary ran all the way back to her room.
Martha! She shouted. Mr. Craven's really a nice man. But he looks very unhappy. He said I can have my own garden.
She was planning to work in the garden with Dickon every day to make it beautiful for the summer. Chapter 5. Meeting Colin. In the middle of the night, Mary woke up. Heavy rain had started falling again, and the wind was blowing violently round the walls of the old house. Suddenly, she heard crying again. This time, she decided to discover who it was. She left her room and in the darkness followed the crying sound, round corners and through doors, up and down stairs, to the other side of the big house. At last, she found the right room. She pushed the door open and went in. It was a big room with beautiful old furniture and pictures. In the large bed was a boy who looked tired and cross, with a thin, white, tearful face. He stared at Mary.
Who are you?
He whispered.
Are you a dream?
No, I'm not.
I'm Mary Lennox. Mr. Craven's my uncle. He's my father, said the boy. I'm Colin Craven. No one ever told me he had a son, said Mary, very surprised. Well, no one ever told me you'd come to live here. I'm ill, you see. I don't want people to see me and talk about me. If I live, I may have a crooked back like my father, but I'll probably die. What a strange house this is, said Mary. So many secrets. Does your father come and see you often? Not often. He doesn't like seeing me because it makes him remember my mother. She died when I was born, so he almost hates me, I think. Why do you say you're going to die? Asked Mary. I've always been ill. I've nearly died several times. And my back's never been strong. My doctor feels sure that I'm going to die. But he's my father's cousin and very poor. So he'd like me to die. Then he'd get all the money when my father dies. He gives me medicine and tells me to rest. We had a grand doctor from London once who told me to go out in the fresh air and try to get well. But I hate fresh air. And another thing, all the servants have to do what I want, because if I'm angry, I become ill. Mary thought she liked this boy, although he seemed so strange. He asked her lots of questions, and she told him all about her life in India. How old are you? He asked suddenly. I'm 10, and so are you, replied Mary, forgetting to be careful, because when you were born, the garden door was locked, and the key was buried. And I know that was 10 years ago. Colin sat up in bed and looked very interested. What door? Who locked it? Where's the key? I want to see it. I'll make the servants tell me where it is. They'll take me there, and you can come too. Oh, please don't! Don't do that! Cried Mary. Colin stared at her. Don't you want to see it? Yes, but if you make them open the door, it will never be a secret again. You see, if only we know about it, if we can find the key, we can go and play there every day. We can help the garden come alive again. And no one will know about it except us. I see, said Colin slowly. Yes, I'd like that. It'll be our secret. I've never had a secret before. And perhaps, added Mary cleverly, we can find a boy to push you in your wheelchair if you can't walk. And we can go there together without any other people. You'll feel better outside. I know I do. I'd like that, he said dreamily. I think I'd like fresh air in a secret garden. Then Mary told him about the moor
and Dickon and Ben Weatherstaff and the robin. And Colin listened to it all with great interest. He began to smile and look much happier. "I like having you here," he said. "You must come and see me every day. But I'm tired now. I'll sing you a song. My servant Kamala used to do that in India," said Mary. And very soon Colin was asleep. The next afternoon, Mary visited Colin again, and he seemed very pleased to see her. He had sent his nurse away and had told nobody about Mary's visit. Mary had not told anybody either. They read some of his books together and told each other stories. They were enjoying themselves and laughing loudly when suddenly the door opened. Dr. Craven and Mrs. Medlock came in. They almost fell over in surprise. "What's happening here?" asked Dr. Craven. Colin sat up straight. To Mary, he looked just like an Indian prince. "This is my cousin, Mary Lennox," he said calmly. "I like her. She must visit me often." "Oh, I'm sorry, sir," said poor Mrs. Medlock to the doctor. "I don't know how she discovered him. I told the servants to keep it a secret." "Don't be stupid, Medlock," said the Indian prince coldly. "Nobody told her. She heard me crying and found me herself. Bring our tea up now." "I'm afraid you're getting too hot and excited, my boy," said Dr. Craven. "That's not good for you. Don't forget you're ill." "I want to forget," said Colin. "I'll be angry if Mary doesn't visit me. She makes me feel better." Dr. Craven did not look happy when he left the room. "What a change in the boy, sir," said the housekeeper. "He's usually so disagreeable with all of us. He really seems to like that strange little girl. And he does look better." Dr. Craven had to agree. Chapter 6. Colin is Afraid. Because it rained all the next week, Mary went to talk to Colin every day instead of visiting the garden. But she woke early one morning to see the sun shining into her room, and she ran out to the secret garden at once. She did not even wait to have her breakfast. It was beautifully sunny and warm, and 1,000 more shoots were pushing their way out of the ground. Dickon was already there, digging hard, with the crow and a young fox beside him. "Have you seen the robin?" he asked Mary. The little bird was flying busily backwards and forwards as fast as he could, carrying pieces of dry grass.
"He's building a nest,"
whispered Mary. They watched the robin for a moment. Then Mary said,
"I must tell you something. You probably know about Colin Craven, don't you? Well, I've met him, and I'm going to help him to get better."
"That's good news." There was a big smile on Dickon's honest face. "We all knew he was ill."
"He's afraid he'll have a crooked back, like his father. I think that's what's making him ill."
"Perhaps we can bring him here and let him rest under the trees. That'll do him good." "That's what we'll do." They had a lot of gardening and planning to do, and Mary did not have time to visit Colin that day. When she came back to the house in the evening, Martha told her that the servants had had trouble with Colin.
"He's been very bad-tempered all afternoon with all of us, because you didn't come, miss." "Well, I was busy. He'll have to learn not to be so selfish,"
replied Mary coldly. She forgot how selfish she had been when she was ill in India.
"I'll go and see him now."
When she went into his room, he was lying in bed, looking tired. He did not turn to look at her.
"What's the matter with you?"
she asked crossly.
"My back aches and my head hurts. Why didn't you come this afternoon?" "I was working in the garden with Dickon." "I won't let that boy come to the garden if you stay with him instead of talking to me."
Mary suddenly became very angry.
"If you send Dickon away, I'll never come into this room again." "You'll have to, if I say so. I'll make the servants bring you in here." "Oh, will you, Prince? But no one can make me talk to you. I won't look at you. I'll stare at the floor." "You selfish girl!"
cried Colin.
"You're more selfish than I am. You're the most selfish boy I've ever met." "I'm not as selfish as your fine Dickon. He keeps you playing outside when he knows I'm ill and alone."
Mary had never been so furious.
"Dickon is nicer than any other boy in the world. He's like an angel." "An angel? Don't make me laugh. He's just a poor country boy with holes in his shoes. He's 1,000 times better than you are."
Colin had never argued with anyone like himself in his life, and in fact, it was good for him. But now, he was beginning to feel sorry for himself.
"I'm always ill,"
he said, and started to cry.
"I'm sure my back is a bit crooked, and I'm going to die." "No, you're not," said Mary crossly.
Colin opened his eyes very wide. Nobody had said that to him before. He was angry, but a bit pleased at the same time.
do you mean? You know I'm going to die. Everybody says I'm going to die. I don't believe it, said Mary in her most disagreeable voice. You just say that to make people feel sorry for you. You're too horrid to die. Colin forgot about his painful back and sat up in bed. Get out of the room at once, he shouted and threw a book at her. I'm going, Mary shouted in reply. And I won't come back. The door banged shut behind her. When she reached her own room, she had decided never to tell him her great secret. He can stay in his room and die if he wants, she thought. But soon she began to remember how ill he had been and how frightened he was. Frightened that one day his back would become as crooked as his father's. Perhaps I'll go back and see him tomorrow. That night, she was woken by the most terrible screams that she had ever heard. Servants were opening and shutting doors and running about. It's Colin, thought Mary. He'll go on screaming until he makes himself really ill. How selfish he is. Somebody should stop him. Just then, Martha ran into the room. We don't know what to do, she cried. He likes you, miss. Come and see if you can make him calmer, please. Well, I'm very cross with him, said Mary, and jumped out of bed. I'm going to stop him. That's right, said Martha. He needs someone like you to argue with. It'll give him something new to think about. Mary ran into Colin's room, right up to his bed. Stop screaming, she shouted furiously. Stop at once! I hate you! Everybody hates you! You'll die if you go on screaming like this! And I hope you will! The screams stopped immediately. This was the first time that anyone had spoken so angrily to Colin, and he was shocked. But he went on crying quietly to himself. My back's becoming crooked. I can feel it. I know I'm going to die. Large tears ran down his face. Don't be stupid, cried Mary. There's nothing the matter with your horrid back. Martha, come here and help me look at his back. Martha and Mrs. Medlock were standing at the door, staring at Mary, their mouths half open. They both looked very frightened. Martha came forward to help.